everyone. Have you come across the difficulty in selecting the sensor for the drive? Yes. Selecting the sensor to meet the electrical requirement is as important to select the proper cylinder to match the mechanical requirement for your applications. Pneumatic cylinder come in numerous size and shape. Which one you choose is really depend on the nature of applications.
Similarly, we do have a wide range of cylinder switches. Depending on the application, it can be different design, technology, sensor output, as well as IP rating. So in this video, we will walk you through the step in matching the right sensor for the drive.
Let's have a look. In general, there are C slot and T slot in a cylinder to accommodate the sensor. C slot is usually found in the short stroke cylinder or a smaller cylinder like the ADNS 6 and 10 or smaller DG-ST drive, whereby the T slot will usually found in a bigger cylinder like the DFM 16 ball size onward or the DSBC cylinder we have. This is how the C slot cylinder sensor interface look like. You can see this is the C shape of the interface. We call it C slot cylinder interface. And whereby the T slot cylinder interface will look like this. You can see this is the T groove over here. Yeah, the T shape look like of the sensor interface.
So here we have two types of cylinder switches, the C slot and the T slot. So for the C slot, you can see that there's a round edge, and for the T slot, it can be for a very squarish design. And very obvious, you can see that the C slot is very smaller compared with a T slot. And now I'm going to show you how can we put this into the C slot cylinder interface. So we can insert the C slot cylinder switches from the back directly, or we can insert it from the top right away. Okay, and then you can just secure the screw nut. And next, I'm going to show you the T slot cylinder interface. And from here, we can insert the T slot cylinder from the back and slot it in. Similarly, we can do it from the top as well. For the round cylinder like the DSNUS, the new release version, or the existing DSNU, you'll require a sensor bracket to be mounted together in order for you to slot in the sensor. So for the sensor bracket, you can see we have a few diameter as well as two types, the T slot and the C slot. So let me demonstrate to you with a C slot first. Just simply click this into the sensor body, and then you can just insert the sensor into the C slot interface. So some of you may wondering or doubting the strength of our sensor locking mechanism, and this is how strong our sensor can hold.
Apart from cylinder size and shape, is cylinder stroke important to be considered in selecting the sensor? Yes, it is important to consider the cylinder stroke, especially for the short stroke cylinder, simply because you have limited space to mount the sensor and provide the proper electrical output. The following will demonstrate the right sensor to be mounted on the short stroke cylinder and also the gripper.
Here, I'm going to show you a demonstration by using a conventional cylinder switches on a C-slot short stroke cylinder. So you can see in the video, even the sensor is able to detect the magnetic signal, but we are still unable to mount the sensor due to long sensor housing. So next, I'm going to show you the right sensor for the short stroke cylinder. So the SMT10G. So it comes with a very short sensor housing, and you can easily fit this into the short stroke cylinder interface, and it will give you more flexibility in adjusting the sensor position and give you the right signal. So next, if your customer would like to reduce the number of cables on the short stroke cylinder or even a gripper, then you can use our SDS MHS here. With just one single sensor, we are able to detect two switching output, and with this button, we can do the NPN, PNP, normally open and normally close setting. So let's look at the video here. There's two videos, the conventional cylinder switches installation versus the SDS MHS. So let's put the focus on the SDS here. So just simply insert this sensor into the cylinder and tighten in to secure it. Just touch the captive button here 3 times to enter the menu, and one more time to enter the switching output 1 setting, and one more time touching is for the confirmation. So right now I extend the sensor, I'm setting the second switching output, enter the menu again, and select type 2 types to enter the second switching output and confirm. So the setting is done. Just it's really way more easier compared with conventional cylinder switches. So it's very convenient and it reduces the number of cables. Here come to the selection of the switching output and the switching element. So for the switching output, we have two types, the PNP and the NPN. So for PNP, we call it as a sourcing type, which is widely used in all the general automation market. And for the PNP, we call it as a sinking type, which is only used by the Asian automation industry, especially Japan. So next, you need to choose the switching element function, normally open or normally closed. So for normally open, when there is no magnetic field passed by the sensor, the circuit will be open. And when there is a magnetic field passed by the sensor, the circuit will be closed and energize the circuit. So next, the normally closed, when there is no magnetic field passed by, the circuit will be always energized and closed. And when there is a magnetic field passed by, the circuit will break open and transmit the signal to the PLC.
Here comes to the end of the right sensor for the drive topics. We hope these tips will give you some guidance in selecting cylinder switches. Thanks for watching. By the way, I'm Chi Hong, product marketer for Wharf Terminal, Sensor, and LifeTech products.
I'm John, product marketer for pneumatic motion, control, and supply.
See you in next topic.
topic.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.